So, what I'd like to lead the meditation practice I'd like to lead you through today is a self compassion practice that I learned from Kristin Neff, one of these researchers that focuses on self compassion. And she calls it a self compassion break. And I like it a lot because, like the word break kind of indicates, it's something we can do kind of quickly and easily. It's something we can learn and then just bring into our daily life in those moments where we feel we just need a moment of self-kindness, a moment of self-compassion, something's coming up. We can do it quickly. It doesn't need to be formally sitting cross-legged on a meditation cushion with 20 minutes to spare. We can go into the cubicle at work and sit and do it silently for a couple of minutes. And so this practice involves the three aspects of self-compassion that Kristin Neff teaches. The first is mindfulness of the suffering, the distress, the unwanted experience that we're having. Because one of the things she says is often we don't want to bring it to mind. But if we don't bring it to mind, then it's really hard to have any kindness towards ourselves or compassion. So the first thing is the awareness or mindfulness of the suffering. And then the second step is common humanity. So connecting to our common human experience. We're not alone in this suffering. This is part of what it is to be a human being. And interestingly enough, connecting us to others kind of soothes that experience of suffering instead of magnifying it. It makes us realize, oh, there's nothing wrong. It's not my fault. This is just part of what it is to be a human. And then the last piece is self-kindness. And so we give ourselves the same kindness we would to a good friend who is experiencing that same experience. And so those are the three steps. And she recommends for that third step, giving yourself some sort of a soothing gesture, like a hug or putting your hands on your heart, or maybe cupping your face or putting your hands on your forehead the way you would to a sick child, for example. And it creates kind of this subject-object relationship. So what I'll do for the practice is just drop some phrases and some ideas in and then pause. It'll be one of these conceptual meditations that we do that we're actually, kind of thinking in a certain way and repeating phrases to ourselves and trying to get that felt sense. So I'll prompt you and then pause. And then if you find yourself getting distracted, losing the thread, just re-prompt yourself and then I'll give the next prompt. And this will be a brief practice, just about 10 minutes or so. So first, I'll just invite you to get into a comfortable posture for meditation. And some of you might be experienced with meditation. And so the alert yet relaxed posture, whether you're sitting up in a chair or sitting down on a cushion with your legs crossed. But we can join the qualities of alertness and relaxation. We get the alertness by trying to have a nice upright posture, if we can, as if there were a cord pulling up from the crown of our heads, and then our bodies relaxed around it. Your shoulders even, your hands can be just resting in your lap or on your knees. You can have your eyes closed or in a slightly hooded gaze. Sometimes if you get sleepy during meditation, having a little bit of light coming in can be helpful. And then if you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth, that keeps you from having to swallow constantly, which can be kind of distracting. So settling into that posture and just taking a moment to sweep your attention through your body. If you notice any places of tightness or tension or constriction, just deliberately relax. Paying attention to places like the neck and shoulders that we often hold some tension, the area around the eyes. Just relaxing more deeply. And then we'll begin with a few moments of breath awareness practice. So shifting your attention to the sensations of the breath in the body. And you might like to focus on wherever you feel the sensations in the body, the full body awareness of breathing, or perhaps localizing the sensations, maybe in your diaphragm, your abdomen, rising and falling, perhaps your lungs expanding and contracting, or the subtlest point, your nostrils, the air going in and out of your nostrils. So either that wide angle lens of the full body awareness or a more narrow focus, just for a few moments, using the breath to get yourself here in your body, in the present moment. And when you feel a thought or another sense object pull your attention away, just release the distraction and return to the breath. And now we'll begin the practice by drawing from our memory and choosing a real situation in your life right now that's causing you some difficulty. So choose something that's maybe a 3 or 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. So some difficulty you're experiencing that's mildly to moderately difficult, not the worst situation in your life, which might cause you to be too flooded by emotion, but something that's mildly to moderately difficult, maybe a interaction with a coworker or some disappointment or some stressful situation you're trying to deal with. And think of that situation, and if you have a few candidates, just pick one for now. And let yourself think of the details of that situation, the storyline, the narrative, what's happening, who did what. And as you bring that situation clearly to mind, also notice any sensations that you might feel in your body. And you might feel that you're getting in touch with the stress around the situation. You're getting a little bit activated. That's okay. Just try not to be overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed, maybe pick another situation or go back to the breath for a moment. But you might start to feel a little bit triggered by your memory. And so the first step of the self-compassion practice is just acknowledging awareness of suffering. So just acknowledging that, yes, this is a moment of suffering. This is difficult. What we're doing is just bringing mindful awareness to the fact that it's really hard right now. And so you can repeat phrases to yourself in your mind that get that message across, that really bring you that awareness of suffering. Maybe something like, this is really hard right now. I'm really struggling with this. This is difficult. Phrases that really validate the difficulty, the stress of the situation. Whatever words work for you, just repeat them in your mind. Yeah, I'm really having a problem with this. This is difficult for me to deal with right now. Whatever it is that works for you. Just opening up that awareness of the struggle, of the suffering. And noticing as you repeat those phrases, notice whatever sensations might be present in your body as well. And then the second piece of the meditation is the common humanity. And so remembering that difficulties, disappointments, struggles, suffering is just a part of life. This is the common humanity. It's not abnormal. It's not your fault. It's just that suffering is an ordinary part of life. We all share. So thinking of all of the people on the planet right now, even though when we're in it, our struggles can feel so important to us, and they are, but also sometimes kind of unique. But think how many people are going through the same thing. And again, choosing whatever words work for you to remind yourself of this. I'm not alone in my suffering. This is part of our shared humanity. Whatever gives you that idea of that interconnectedness that we're all in this together at some level. I'm not alone. This is part of what it is to be a human. We all experience disappointments. And then the last piece is the self-kindness. And so thinking, may I be kind to myself? Talking to yourself the way that you would talk to a good friend that was going through the same kind of struggle. Instead of being harsh with that person, you'd speak in a kind way. And for this, you might like to adopt one of those soothing gestures, your hand on your heart, or giving yourself a hug, cupping your face in your hands. May I be kind to myself in this moment. And you can choose some language that works. I care about you, or I'm so sorry you're going through this, or I'm there for you. Some language that gives you that idea. And again, might seem difficult, but thinking of yourself the way you would a good friend. We'll get through this together. I care about you. In that subject-object relationship with yourself. And then release the phrases and just come back to the sensations of the breath, just feeling whatever sensations might be alive in your body right now, using the breath as the anchor. And now we'll bring the meditation to a close. Take a few moments to relax your posture and slowly open your eyes. So, as you can see, that's something very simple that we can just kind of take into our life and use it when we feel those moments of stress and difficulty and challenge. Sometimes we hesitate bringing mindfulness to it because then we feel like we're just going to stay stuck in that and won't be able to move through. So this is just a way to kind of move through and metabolize those feelings so we don't have to just push them out of awareness and keep ourselves distracted.